So we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yah in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Pick this up at John chapter 5 and search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. For another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How you can believe which receive honor one from another, and seek not the honor that come from Elohim only. Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There is one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. If had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? Shalom, man. Proverbs chapter 12. I think for the most part, I think we've grabbed everything in Proverbs 11. There might be a couple verses that I haven't grabbed. If not, y'all willing, we'll double back. But we're going to go over here and we're going to pick it up in Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 6. If I'm not mistaken. Proverbs 12 and 6. So the words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. So, of course, that is easy. We'll grab a couple of instances in here. But let me ask y'all a question, because Brother Otis asked this question earlier, and I want to see if y'all can come up with some answers for it. I want you to come over here to Matthew 13, first and foremost. It's still all relative to what we're looking at. So he asked this question last night. I gave him a couple answers. I want to see what y'all come up with. Missing my spot. Matthew chapter 13, verse 18. Shalom, man. Hear you therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone hear the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then come the wicked one and catch away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which has received seed by the wayside. He that received the seed in the stony place is the same as he that hear the word and annoyed with joy receive it, yet have he no root in himself, but endure for a while. But when tribulation or persecution arrives because of the word, by and by he is offended. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that hear the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, that he become unfruitful. But he that receives seed in the good ground is he that hear the word, understand it, which also bear fruit and bring forth, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. So his question was this: the seed among the thorns that hear the word, but the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches choke it off. He wanted to know what were the examples of individuals having this happen to them from Genesis to Malachi. So any one of y'all on the stream can come proffer an answer with that, if you will. Some of you may have seen he asked that question. Some of you may have not. But if you have answers for that question, where you can see somebody because of the cares of this life or the deceitfulness of riches choked off that word, you say Saul. But you could look at that, but Saul wasn't deceived with the cares and affairs of his life. He just was stubborn, because there wasn't anything as forth his life that stopped him from doing that. When you look at Saul, his thing was he wanted to appease the people. But no, he said the cares and affairs of this life. So that means the things that go on around you and not necessarily people. See, he sought to be a man pleaser instead of a pleaser Elohim. So that's a tad bit different. I can see why you would look at it in that fashion. A man pleaser. What you mean? Being a man pleaser? Yeah. Oh, Saul would be by the wayside because he never believed it from the Jump Street. Anything that Yah told him, he never fulfilled. Not one time. What you had, what? You say Esau would be an example of that. Definitely would be. He definitely would be, because that what it was, that lentil soup was more important to him, and it deceived him in selling off his birthright, a material item or something that he could gain, or like what's going on around. No, he didn't.
Me, when Saul was going out at the beginning, he was winning wars and he was doing his regular duty.
Yeah, but he
to that point where
see, that's like you look at the first time he didn't do what he was told. It was because he actually said out of his mouth, I was influenced by the people. You know what I'm saying? And then the next time he was supposed to wait for Samuel, he was influenced by the people. You know what I'm saying? Then you look at the last one with Amalek, he was influenced by the people.
You know what I'm saying? That's part of the
to an extent, but not necessarily, because that's not. See, we look at it in the regards of these two verses in the epistles. You got 1 John 2:15 when he say the pride of life. You know what I'm saying? See, what Saul got caught up on is I really want to do what I want to do, and then you have that one where Paul made a statement of, should I please men or should I please Elohim? Because if I please men, then I wouldn't be a servant of Elohim. And I think Saul's main issue is he wanted to please men. You know what I'm saying? Versus the when you look at that cares and affairs of this life, y'all already know what that is. I got to go to work. I got to pay bills. I want to go have fun. I want to go do this. And that chokes that off. So you look at Saul based off the totality of his behavior. Oh, he was that seed by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't ever really believe in his heart. And that got snatched. Because he didn't even really listen to his daddy when it first started off. You know what I'm talking about? If my memory serves me correctly on the totality of the story, he's supposed to have been watching sheep or whatever was missing. Some of y'all might can answer that better.
Oh, no, he's talking about with the donkey.
Yeah. And he had to go find her. And he didn't even keep that commandment, truth be told. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to put that, because I don't know who you're talking about, sir. Tavon said Lot's wife. You could look at that to a certain extent. No, there's a lot of people in the text that got deceived by the cares of. Oh, he said Cain and Samson. I won't say Samson. Samson didn't get caught up with the cares and affairs of this life. Everything that happened with Samson was planned. Y'all did it that way. Cain was just deceived by the wayside. He didn't believe from the jump street. That's why he brought them raggedy offerings. Do anybody else have anyone that you could think of that was deceived by riches, either deceived by money or deceived by the things of this life? Who? You say Judas? Just the Old Testament. He wanted Old Testament. Ahab was more so a simp because he didn't have a desire to take that man's land. His wife went and did that, and then he just went along with it. Because when the dude who name always escapes me, when he told him no, Ahab came back home crying. And she asked him why was he crying? Because he said he won't sell me his land. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew that I can't take that from him. So he was cool with that. But Jezebel went and did what it was that she did. And you say the Jews that y'all killed in the wilderness? Some of them, yeah, you could look at that. That was envy and jealousy. Now that's a little different. But she mentioned earlier. What about who remembers Achan? Cares and affairs of this life, or the deceitfulness. Yeah, in the book of Joshua, that choked off the word. It ain't bring no forth no fruit, because that's what he was concerned with. Because what was he told to do? Don't take nothing. Don't touch the unclean thing. And the first thing he did is he went and grabbed that money. That deceived him. Yeah, he turned it down, but then he came back around and doubled back. And that would be another example of that. Balaam would be another example of that. And then we mentioned him, Gehazi. Gehazi is an example of that. Because he offered Elisha, money and garments for Naaman the Syrian, to be specific. And he told him no. And what did Gehazi go do? He slid back and got it. And what Elisha told him, it's a time for olive yards and vineyards. It's a time to get money. You know what I'm talking about? And what was his end result? leprosy for the rest of his life in his whole household. You also had Nebuchadnezzar, because the cares and affairs of his life and the deceitfulness of riches deceived him in pride, and then he had to do what? Eat grass and lick water off grass. Pharaoh is also an example of that. No, no, he may have not, but remember, anybody who did that, because the reason why you say that is when he came to him, because there were previous pharaohs in Egypt that knew Yah. Amalek is the one to come up to that. Remember, he was a prophet. He knew who Yah was. But this pharaoh said, I don't know Yah, so I'm not listening to him. And what allowed him to do that? It was the cares and affairs of his life, which was really maintaining his rulership and the riches that he had, and he was unconcerned. Nabal is also another one too, because his riches caused him not to be able to hearken to the words of the servants of David to do for them, because of the things that he had. He was more concerned with what he had and not wanting to dispense his overwhelming wealth to another person. And that choked off that word. Yeah, you got that in Genesis chapter 20 with Amalek when he took Sarah. Yeah, Amalek was a prophet. That particular pharaoh was a prophet, because he had a dream. Yah appeared to him in a dream and told him, I know you wouldn't take this woman and lay with her. So, and I know you grabbed her in the integrity of your heart. But he said, that's another man's wife. So he was king of Egypt in Genesis chapter 20. Let's take a look at it. About 20 King of Gerar. So I'm thinking about what his name is, Isaac. Because Isaac was in the same situation. That was Isaac. Because Isaac was in the same situation. I mean, you had people, because Balaam was a prophet, and Balaam definitely wasn't an Israelite. So that ain't really got nothing to do with nothing. You got people other nations to slide on through. Now, he was Philistine king. I forget which one of them Egypt he went through and hollered at it and they spared him.
No, I remember. I don't really say.
Yeah, I can't.
When they're saying that prayer, I'm thinking that these people that literally been walking righteously. No. He talking about that parable. He talking about that word being scattered. And in that word being scattered, those particular issues, when the word was given, that choked it off to where they couldn't obey it. So when he's giving those scenarios, he's really giving three sets of people who, when they heard the word, these things stopped them from perfecting it. So when you look at somebody who doesn't believe, because we're going to be looking at so in a moment. When you're looking at somebody who doesn't believe, then Satan come and snatch that away. When I'm looking at somebody who don't believe, and I'm just trying to get upset, somebody who don't believe, that means they never received the word at all. I'm not saying they never heard it, but somebody can tell you about it. If you don't believe, you don't believe it. But I'm saying you have taken in the word, that means you heard it and you started to live it because you believe it. If somebody don't believe it at all, I was just looking at.
No. And in the instance of that parable, when he say here's the parable of the sower, he's talking about somebody who came and sold the word to an individual. So then you have four types of individuals. So you got one that went, and everyone probably has came across an individual like that when you went to dropping that gospel on them, they didn't understand it. So then Satan snatched away what was already in their heart when they heard that word. That seed couldn't fall down in their heart and bring forth no fruit. Then you got the next one. They heard it. They was happy. But then when that tribulation and persecution came, they were like, nah. You know what I'm talking about? Then you got the next one. They heard it, but this money and the things of life, it choked that off. Now they can't bring forth no fruit. No, but in reality, they didn't believe it.
I mean, nobody believed it
but the last one. Yeah, but the last one. But they all heard it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that the middle two started walking. And on the outside looking in, it looked like they believed. You know what I'm talking about? But in reality, I said, no, I ain't on that. And then the last one is they heard it, kept it, and it manifests into the parade, which is Yahusha is the word of Elohim. And then the prophet preachers and teach. What did Paul say? One man sow, another man water, because you're really supposed to be taking his word and scattering seeds everywhere. And then that seed falling in the ground, which is really the hearts of men. And then whatever take root after that is what take root. You know what I'm saying? And you know the only way that it can take root is, you've grown a few plants and crops in your time. You know what I'm saying? Got to be some good ground. If it's some trash ground, ain't nothing coming out of that. And a lot of niggas got trash hearts. And ain't nothing coming out of that. And that's why we meant to told a brother that the other day. If you don't got the spirit, you know why. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't where you want to be at spiritually, you know why. You may not want to acknowledge it openly to people, but you know why. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at, got to till the ground a little bit different. You ever had some bad ground you had to till? Hey. But that's a good thing. But I would wait to somebody who probably done farm for a little while. I cannot speak from direct experience.
No, usually if it's background, you got to add.
You see what you say? Look what you say you had to do. And guess what? So if it's
add good ground too.
And if it's bad ground to till it, to add good ground, that's where he come in and say, bear one another's burdens and strengthen one another and things of that nature. See, we get all into that in a minute. I'm glad you said it. See how beautiful. Look at the Lord. Praise the Lord. That's beautiful right there. But I ain't got sense. It's okay though. Because somebody loves me. Maybe my mother. Maybe my mother. Not sure. But let me read that verse in Proverbs 12 again. So the words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood. So this is what I need from y'all. Now I have examples, but depending on what you use, I won't use mine. Because I got 2 off the top, maybe 3. Old Testament only. Who had words to lie in wait for blood? Who sat, and I'm not talking about somebody saying something, I'm talking about really sat back and put together, concocted, if you will, a plan to shed blood. Say David? No, but see, now let me rephrase. The words, no, what I'm saying that, the reason, no, when I say rephrase, it said the words of the wicked. So David is canceled out of that equation. That's why I said, let me rephrase. The words of the wicked. But see, he didn't have words with somebody else to pull that off. That was something that only he knew he was doing.
I thought he told that nigga to put him in the
He did, but nobody knew why he was doing that.
Nobody came. I know he wasn't with
Yeah.
I'm saying that was
But see, notice he said the words of the wicked. So that means wicked men got it, because we know the end game is the plot of the scribes and the Pharisees with Judas. We already know that. That's a given. We don't have to mention that. But we need to get to the point where can you see a template of wicked men sitting together and say, well, I'm finna kill me a nigga. They weren't wicked, but they were definitely, but they didn't even really lie in wait for blood. No, they did. They wanted to kill him. They wanted to kill him. But I'm talking about when you lie in wait for blood, let's think of lie in wait, right? Because there's 2 niggas now. It's one you should know off the top. Cain ain't, there wasn't no words of wicked. Cain just did that out his heart. Even with Satan, he ain't lie in wait. Satan just popped up like, what's happening, baby? You want some of this here? What I got? Actually did it. No, Old Testament only. You talking about Stephen? You said Absalom, Manasseh? And you are correct, man. Who knows who he killed? Joab. That was David's right-hand man. He killed somebody's brother. Why did he kill? He killed Amasa. Why did he kill him? Yes, he did. And he waited on that. And he talked with niggas about it. Yes, he did. 2 Samuel chapter 20.
When I was thinking about that one, that was like revenge though.
But he indeed. But Joab was considered wicked only for one reason. Why is Joab considered wicked? He told him not to do it, so he disobeyed the commandment. And what made him, and that's what I was going, and Absalom too, because Absalom did lie in wait for blood, and he definitely consulted with numerous people to kill his daddy. I won't say they were what they won't say they were wicked. They said nigga had done slung that meat on their sister. He didn't kill nobody because he didn't have the opportunity for it. Because he had David on the run, he couldn't catch him. Yeah, he's a murderer. Now with Simeon and Levi, they did that because you defiled my sister. No, he didn't tell him nothing. He said, "Why did you do that?" They did that on their own. He said, "Why did you do that? They gonna come kill me." Yeah, he didn't know nothing about it. They did it right, and because they looked at Jacob and said, "Saw my sister be a harlot," and Jacob said, "You know what? I can't argue with you there. But man, them people gonna come for us. They like as hell. Well, let them come then. It's us 11 and Yahuwah, baby. They come with it. My sister ain't the whore at all. At all. Everybody sit still. Everybody sit still. Now the next step is you're gonna go to sleep.
What about those people that raped that woman? And he had to cut his concubine up in two.
Those people but that wasn't laying in wait for blood. They were laying in wait for butt. Sadly. They were straight wicked niggas and they were laying in wait for butt. Because they wanted man body. A man's body. It was more important than breathing. That's sad. 2 Samuel chapter 20, man, about verse 5. Well, make it 3. And David came to his house at Jerusalem. The king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, and put them in the ward and fed them, but went not in unto them. So they were shut up until the day of their death, living in widowhood. Then said the king to Amasa, assemble the men of Judah within 3 days and be here present. So Amasa went to assemble the men of Yehuda, but he tarried longer than the set time which he had appointed him. David said to Abishai, now shall Sheba the son of Berichi do us harm than did Absalom? Take your Lord's present servants and pursue after him, lest he get the fenced cities and escape us. And there went after him Joab's men, Cherethites and the Pelethites and the mighty men. And they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba the son of Berichi. But when they were at the great stone, which is Gibeon, Amasa went before them. Joab's garment that he had put on was girded unto him, and upon it a girdle with a sword fastened upon his loins and his sheath thereof. And as he went forth, it fell out. Joab said to Amasa, are you in health, my brother? Joab took Amasa by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. But Amasa took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand. So he smote him therewith in the 5th rib and shut out his bowels to the ground and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab, Abishai, his brother, pursued after Sheba, the son of Berichi. And this is when he killed him. I need to recall where it's at, where he sat back and stated with the niggas that he was going to kill him. Now, of course, if you look at the words of the wicked or the lie and wait for blood, that takes you back to what's in Proverbs chapter 6 about having wicked imaginations and shedding innocent blood. Because remember, what was David's response after he found out Amasa was dead? Does anybody recall? Well, let's look at it. It's at towards the end of the chapter. I'm thinking about another one. The other dude that got hit. Come over here to 2 Samuel chapter 3. That's what I'm thinking. With Abner, because Joab killed Abner too. Oh yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about, because that's the one he plotted on. Pick it up at verse 12. He said, Abner sent messengers to David on this behalf, whose land, saying also, make your league with me, and behold, my hand shall be with you to bring about all Yasharal unto you. And he said, well, I make a league with you, but one thing I require of you is you shall not see my face, except first you bring Mashal, Saul's daughter, when you come to see my face. David sent messengers unto Ishabah, Saul's son, saying, deliver me my wife Mashal, which I espoused to me 400 foreskins of the Philistines. Ishbosheth sent and took her from her husband, even from Pethal, the son of Laish. And her husband went with her alone, weep behind her to Barim. Then said Abner unto him, go, return, and he returned. Abner had communication with the elders of Yasharal, saying, you sought for David in times past to be king over you. Now then do it. For you who have spoken of David, saying, by the hand of my servant David will I save my people of Yasharal out of the hand of the Philistines and out of the hand of all their enemies. Abner also spoke in the ears of Benjamin. Abner went also to speak in the ears of David in Hebron, all that seemed good to Yasharal, and that seemed good to the whole house of Benjamin. So Abner came to David to Hebron, 20 men with him. David made Abner and the men that were with him a feast. Abner said unto David, I'll rise and go and will gather all Yasharal unto my lord the king, that they may make a league with you, and that you may reign over all that your heart desire. And David sent Abner away, and he went in Shalom. Behold, the servants of David and Joab came from pursuing the troop and brought in the great spoil with them. But Abner was not with David in Hebron, and he sent him away, and he was gone in Shalom. When Joab and all the host that was with him would come, they told Joab, saying, Abner the son of Ner came to the king, and he sent him away, and he is gone in Shalom. Then Joab came to the king and said, what have you done? Behold, Abner come unto you. Why is it you've gone and sent him away, and he is quite gone? You know Abner the son of Ner, that he came to deceive you, and to know you're going out and coming in, and to know all that you do. When Joab was come out from David, he sent messengers after Abner, which brought him again from the well of Sarah, but David knew it not. So right here, when you see this here, right, see, David and Abner were straight. Joab wanted to kill him because, you know, Abner was used to run with Saul. You know what I'm saying? So remember, right, Joab was considered to be wicked in what it is, 1 Kings chapter 2, because he told, what did David tell Solomon to do with Joab? Does anyone recall what David told Solomon to do with Joab? He told him to kill him. He told him, don't let his whore head go to the grave in peace. Why being? Because he said that he killed two righteous men, two men who were more righteous than him. You know what I'm saying? He knew he had no business laying no hand. Once they told him that David told Abner to go in peace, he knew he had no business fooling with this man. Let's look at the next verse. And when Abner was returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside in the gate, spoke with him quietly, smote him there under the fifth rib, and that he died for the blood of Ashal, his brother. Afterwards, when David heard it, he said, I and my kingdom are guiltless before Yahuwah forever from the blood of Abner, the son of Ner. Let it rest on the head of Joab and all his father's house, and let there not fail from the house of Joab one that have an issue, or that is a leopard, or lean on a staff, or that fall on a sword, or lack bread. What does that sound like? That sounds like Psalms 109, don't it? When he prayed for his father and his mother's prayers to be seen and all that, because you were laying in wait for blood. You ain't had no business doing that. Yeah, your brother got killed, but that was in war, sir. That was in war. This man was peaceful. He had, and notice if you pay attention to verse 21, he said that he sent Abner out to bring all Yasharal to make a covenant with him, that he could reign over. He had no business fooling with this man. And we were looking at that in the aspect of what did the people say when Yahusha got killed? Let his blood be on our children's children. And why is that the case? Because them scribes and Pharisees did what? Because remember, it's the words of the wicked. Because in order to lie in wait for blood, you have to do what? You got to plot. You got to scheme. You got to get people on your side. You know, that's in Hosea chapter 6, if you recall, right? So, you know, the priest murdered by deceit and lie in wait for blood in the way of son of that nation. Let's read Hosea 6 and 6 because I said it wrong. And only because I said it wrong is why we're going to do that. Renee, put your chair on the ground. Stop playing. Stop playing. You got to pay attention, Renee. Are you paying attention? You got to pay attention. Are you paying attention, Renee? Or are you playing with your belly button? 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 Okay. It is Hosea 6 and 7, I should say. Or really 6 and 9, get straight to the point. He said, as a troop of robbers wait for a man, So the company of priests murder in the way by consent, for they commit lewdness. Usually when you see a bunch of wicked people lying in wait, they usually are perverse people. We also know with the scribes and Pharisees, they were very, very perverse people. Why? Because they wanted to fulfill their lust. But let's look at the second half of Proverbs 12 and 6. So that's really why we're there. He said, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. So what can you take from that? That the mouth of the upright will deliver them. Now the word for deliver in that verse, I believe, is at Saul. But let me double check. And it is. It's not Saul, which is to rescue, to recover, to deliver your enemies from trouble and death. We talked about this word before, but you got Nun, Sod, and Lamad, and you can proceed. Nun, Sod, and Lamad. Yeah, that's correct, sir. He also mentioned, but you mentioned to somebody else. He's mentioning somebody that Yahushua mentioned, but that story is not necessarily detailed and great. Specifically, when he was talking about what his name is, Zechariah, who they slew between the temple and the altar. But you have a prophet who they slew in Chronicles, who say, you know, why have you departed from Yahuwah and this, that, and the third, and they slew him, and they all consented to kill him.
I would say shepherd teaching the way of life.
Shepherd teach the way of life? Indeed. Indeed. Because that's exactly what's going to deliver you. Because it said the words of the upright, and of course, you know, you got paid for the mouth. I mean, the mouth of the upright will deliver them. So when you look at that, you know, upright is Yeshua. Yahushua is the one who's going to teach you how to live, because he is the way. You know what I'm saying? And it's his words that are going to save you. And that's taking us back to that parable again. You know what I'm talking about? Because he said that good ground. See, I want you to come back to Luke 8 just to read the parable in Luke 8, because I just like the verbiage. Luke 8 and 10 is sufficient. And then from Luke 8 and 10, we'll come back to Proverbs 12. I want to say verse 11. Oh, you in there farting, huh? Hey. You in there farting? It's stinking now. Smell like a locker room. And he said unto you, is it given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Elohim? But to others in parables, that seeing they might not see, and hearing they might not understand. Now the parable is this: the seed is the word of Elohim. Those by the wayside are they that hear. Then come the devil and take away the word out of their hearts, lest they should believe and be saved. Now we've talked about this stuff before. Who's an example of you think of somebody who somebody came and gave? Because remember, anything is the word. Anytime somebody comes and says the words of Yahuwah, whether by the mouth of a prophet, whether by stop it, King, stop it. Whether by instruction or whatever, who can you think of heard the word and then it got snatched away because they didn't believe it? Eve is an strong example. He snatched away what was, why? Because we can say that what was already sown in her heart. What was already sown in her heart. She had a desire to eat from that tree, from the jump street. Can anyone think of anyone else? Pharaoh definitely. He already didn't have a heart to believe. See, Pharaoh can fall in the life. Of course, we know y'all hardened his heart, but that was for a reason. So I was talking to a little brother earlier today, and he asked me a question, like, you know, why do our people go through the stuff that they go through? The dude who got killed by the lion, who was that dude who got killed by the lion?
That was the prophet.
Oh yeah, that was the one we were talking about yesterday. Yeah, we can look at it in that regard. He was more so, he dealt with rebellions. He's a hard one to fit in because he did the first half of what Yahuwah told him to do. Yeah, he didn't endure. But it wasn't even no persecution or tribulation. So he got to be more so the cares and affairs of this life and the deceitfulness of riches. Because all the nigga offered you was some bread and some water, and you was ready to slide on off and do opposite what he told you to do.
Yeah, that is a tough. Because the nigga told him that y'all told him to tell him that though.
Didn't matter. You know what y'all told you.
I know. I can just see how a nigga either get caught like
Oh, he looking at Judah's two sons. They were just wicked. He talking about one son that just said that he was wicked before y'all own, and he slew him. The other son wanted a piece of booty, but didn't want to raise up that seed. Remember, I already told you that he didn't get killed for spilling seed. He got killed for spilling seed to not raise up a son unto his dead brother. That's what made him wicked. That's what made y'all mad. Y'all might have let him live for spilling seed. You know, you wasting good seed there, son, but I might bust you upside the head, but you supposed to raise up. Meaning you really, in that instance with his behavior, he's just telling y'all, you hate your brother. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even want to raise up a seed to your brother.
He was scared though because niggas kept getting killed, bro.
Who?
Brother. He probably was scared.
He might have been, or he could have.
That was part of the story. That's why she had to wait for the jit. Because the first two brothers had died.
Yeah, the first one, it didn't say why. He just said that On was wicked in the eyesight of Yahuwah, so he slew him. Didn't really give no reason why he slew him.
I'm talking about the brother she had married.
One brother died. She got On. Well, On got no. What it was? She was married to On, and he got killed because he was wicked. No, it was just them two. We could go look at it though. Let's look at it. Genesis 39. Let's just be accurate. Well, Genesis 37 or 38. 38 and 7. No, it wasn't in between. It was from On. It was on the Onan. Say in verse 7. Well, 38 and 6. Yehuda took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. Yehuda's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah slew him. See, that's the rough part. See, that's another thing we don't consider. If you wicked in the eyesight of Yahuwah, he might just slay you. He might just slay you. He ain't got to have no rhyme and reason. You're a wicked bastard. I'm going to get you out of here. Mordecai, get yourself under control. Get yourself under control. Get yourself under control. You ain't got no reason to be doing all that crime. Your life ain't that hard. And say, Yehuda said unto Onan, go into your brother's wife, marry her, raise up a seed to your brother. Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass when he went into his brother's wife that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased Yahuwah, wherefore he slew him also. See, he extra wicked. He hated his brother. He had no reason not to do that. No reason not to do it. And you can look at him in that instance of Satan snatched that word away, which was already sown in your heart. Because Onan was wicked. I don't want to do it. Because look what it said. He said he knew the seed wouldn't be his. That's another instance of why you see, now that it hit my mind gospel-wise, the two priests who got killed for burning incense, they were rebellious. I won't necessarily say that the seed was snatched away. They just went in there and did what they wanted to do.
You was gonna say like that part of the law.
You know what I'm saying?
Like now.
What, that part right there? I mean, you'd have to actually have to physically be, both brothers really need to be both in the word, because if he ain't in the word, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And that your wife, y'all couldn't have had no kids. See, because I done seen dudes say that.
That's if your brother died for your house.
Yeah, but I done seen Bruce argue like you supposed to marry your brother's wife, not if you had children. No, there's no need for you to do that, sir. They've had a seed. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody wanted to do that according to Torah, they wouldn't be wrong. But that has to be that man's blood brother, not somebody who that's my homeboy. This, that, there, and the third. They gotta have the same daddy. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't the same daddy, then that's the end of that. That's why you seen that with Ruth, with Naomi.
That might be your firstborn son.
And technically it is, but it ain't chose. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, that's why I said in the law, if you went against that, they spit in your face. That woman specifically.
That's tough.
It is tough because you pretty much saying, I hate my brother. I don't fool with that nigga like that. But who will give you the option, but you're gonna be humiliated. But when you look at it gospel wise, you know, how I put the word this properly. Knowing that he come up and added and you being married to a new man because the first one died, You know what I'm saying? He had to go in there. Yahusha come into his wife or Tamar. You know what I'm saying? But as a man, he don't want to raise a seed up to his brother, so to speak. So he has to spill his blood, and because it spills his blood, you know, Yahuwah is displeased and he slays him. And then, of course, you know, she ends up having twins with who? Judah, which is Yasharal and Yehuda, which is Yahusha having twins with his spouse, making them one, and all the things of that nature that get you to that point. But and he did, because he didn't want to raise up a seed to his brother because it wouldn't be his. You know what I'm saying? His as being the son of Adam, but his as being the son of Elohim. That's another conversation for another day. Luke, what it is, right? So we got that. Now we talked about verse 13 before. Then they on the rock are they which hear the word and receive the word with joy, and these have no root, which for a while believe in the time of temptation fall away. Achan is another. Achan can fall into both because he was tempted and fell away. There's too many examples in the wilderness. You can definitely look at them when they were messing with Baal Peor. See, temptation is what make people fall away for a lot of times. I seen a brother the other day, right? Brother had asked a question. He said, would you rather buy land and till it and grow crops, or would you rather buy foreclosed homes? But a brother commented on there and say he would rather have the land so he can be hid in the time of the mark of the beast. When I heard that, when I read that, all I took from that is he'll fold. He'll fold.
That's what you think about going into it.
Yeah, you'll fold. Because Yahusha said, except for the ones, you know, the ones that keep the word of his patience, he said that he will keep them for see, you know what a lot of brews think, to be honest? They think you're going to hide in the hour of temptation. Let's read that, Revelation chapter 3, real quick. They think you're going to be able to hide. You're not going to be able to hide. Everybody got to be tried. What did we just read last night? He got to test you. He got to prove you out. How else is he going to know what's in your heart if I hide you? The only way he would hide you is because he already knew in your heart you were steadfast and faithful to the word. But some niggas got to be tempted. I got to see how real you are. And that's what a lot of brews don't want. A lot of brews don't want to face that temptation because they know they're going to fold. It's some brews right now. If you put a butt-naked man in front of them, the nigga going to hit it. Play with it. How some of them niggas, you see how some of them niggas behave and make you question some of them niggas like, boy, that nigga might be fruit. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that, because when I went up that road, it's probably a lot of niggas who thought about being with a dude, but because that temptation wasn't readily available to them on the street, they didn't act on it. You know what I'm saying? Now you're in an environment where you tempted to act on a desire that you have.
You gotta look at it as spirit. Every person that's in the world coming out of the world, period.
Got tempted.
So whatever nigga was on the word,
yeah,
niggas still subject to that.
You subject to it. If you ain't cleanse yourself, you ain't purged yourself. Certain people who got the ruach in the dead, he probably hide them. I already know. I ain't worried about him. When you look at Job, all he put Job through for that temptation was for what? Let me see what's in his heart. What did he find in Job's heart? That he was self-righteous. That he felt like his works is why Yah should justify him versus his faith. That's what I mean when I say self-righteous. That was it. It wasn't nothing foul in Job outside of that. And that's what Yahuwah said. He said, you making yourself like you the nigga. Like you don't need me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's also lined up with Romans chapter 4 when he said, if it be of works, then he owe you. That's all he was trying to show Job. I don't owe you. Because look what he told Satan. Have you tried my servant Job? So that means he put Job in that temptation because he already knew what? Oh, Job, straight. What did he write in the Epistle of Corinthians? He will not lay temptation more than you can bear, but he'll make a way out. So if you getting tried and tested, if you really went to word, the man going to give you an exit. You know what I'm talking about? Now, the difference is, do you want to take that exit? With the mark of the beast, the exit very well may be death. You going to take that exit? Some niggas don't want to take that exit because you don't want to die. Why you don't want to die? Because you know you're going to hell. And he said, you got to love. He said, these men here didn't love their lives even unto death. See, niggas don't like that. It's no different. Put a butt naked woman in some of these niggas, boy. They're going to cheat on their wives. They're going to commit fornication. You know what I'm talking about? Some of these niggas you put on porn, he don't cut it off. He gonna sit there and beat me. You know what I'm saying? Some of these niggas smoke. Some people can't sit around. Like I said, I smoked weed for years. When I quit, some of them young niggas I knew around the way, they used to sit around and smoke weed every day. I ain't had that. That temptation didn't affect me. I don't have a desire to smoke that. Yes. What may I do for you? Why are you sitting here? I see. Eventually, you're gonna get up. So I don't even know why you came. You're here now. 3 and 7. Revelation 3 and 7. It says, "Unto the Malachim of the house in Philadelphia write, these things saith he." Now, you know, what was the main key point that you see with the synagogue in Philadelphia that set them apart from the other 7? Do you all know the main thing that set apart the synagogue in Philadelphia from all the other assemblies of these 7? That's what you came over here for. When I'm finished, go sit down. When I'm finished. That's all you came over here for? Yeah, you think you slick. When I'm finished, you can have it. They were faithful. The assembly in Philadelphia is the only one he didn't rebuke for having something sour going on. If you look at the other 6, he rebuked all of them because he said all of them had something going on. Philadelphia was the only one that didn't have something going on. "And to the Malachim of the house of the assembly in Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is Kadash, he that is true, he that had the key of David, he that opened and no man shut, and shut and no man open. And I know your works, and behold, I set before you an open door, and no man can shut it. For you have a little strength, and have kept my word, and not denied my name." Look at what he said. They had a little bit of faith, and they did what he told them to do, and they didn't deny him. But notice, right, a little bit of Yah's strength is massive compared to the strength of one man. Massive. He said, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Hashatan, which say they are Yahudim and are not, but do lie. Behold, I make them to come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. Because you have kept my word of patience, I will also keep you from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which you have, that no man take your crown." Notice he said because they kept the word of his patience, they get spared from it. Why? Because clearly they had already been in a situation where they could have denied his name and didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, you're going to face that hour of temptation. You got to have the ability to stand. And a lot of people, when that persecution and tribulation come for the word, they're going to fold. You know what I'm saying? And why I use this as an example. When you up that road, a lot of dudes say the stuff that they will and won't do. You know why they can say that? Why you think a dude say, "I ain't gonna smoke no crack when I get out"? The temptation ain't no crack in there. It is, but not readily accessible for everyone. He ain't got to worry about smoking no crack on that compound. When he get back out here on that street, he can slide out east. He slide on Mont Creek, get him robbed. Will you not smoke crack then? You know how many dudes get out of jail and go right back? Because they go right back in that environment, that temptation there, they can't overcome it. You know what I'm saying? See, once you overcame, then there is no temptation because it ain't gonna hold no weight for you. You know what I'm saying? This is why he said I overcame. What did Yahushua say right before he died in Luke 22? He said, "You are with me. You are the ones who were with me in my temptations." You know what I'm saying? I was tempted. I overcame. See, once you overcame something, then that whatever you overcame does not hold any pull or weight on you. If it did hold pull or weight on you, then guess what you hadn't done? You hadn't overcame it. You may have overcame it in that moment, but that goes back to what we were talking about last night about the pulling down of a stronghold and how the truth is falling in the street. Because in order for that stronghold to be pulled down, Yahushua had to be pulled down off the state. And when he was pulled down off the state, what was it? He was dead. So therefore, that stronghold is dead because when he died, sin was destroyed with his body, and then he was resurrected a new creature where sin does no longer abide. So when you dwell in him and he dwell in you and you've sacrificed yourself with him, when you become a new creature, sin no longer abides and temptation should not be an issue. But are you going to be tempted from time to time? Like we mentioned last night, you and your flesh, right? So you can have desires. But usually if you have those desires, those are just whatever the desires that pop in your head. But when temptation comes, you will resist it. Let's see, that's 1 Corinthians chapter 10. See, a lot of brothers can't resist temptation. Dang, that nigga shut it. I just got a notification. They say dude shot his wife on their anniversary trip. Good grief. Clearly, she made him mad on the holiday. Let's go for an anniversary trip. Let me put a bullet in your brain. See, he was tempted. He pulled the trigger.
No.
Boy, ain't nothing a woman could do for you to kill her, man. They go ahead and leave her alone.
No.
Don't throw your life away, man. I seen a brother posted that earlier today. Dude text his homeboy talking about I'm finna do it, bro. He say, boy, don't do it, boy. She ain't worth it, bro. I made up my mind. I'm finna do it. And that nigga went and killed her and himself. And they say, just leave her alone, bro. You can get a new one. I said, boy, that junk, they're wild, boy. One, I'm not finna kill myself, but two, I can't go do 25 years. Well, I ain't gonna say 25 years. You know, Florida's the only state in the union ain't got parole. So I can't go do no natural life sentence in the state of Florida. I can't do no life sentence nowhere. But you definitely don't want to do one here. You don't do one here. Like all them niggas were going crazy about that lady, white lady called them 10, she'll be out in 5. She'd have called them 10 here, boy, she gonna be out in 8.5 minimum. Ain't no parole, baby. You finna do 8.5 strong. That's why our prison's overcrowded, because niggas ain't getting out. Because you doing that whole sentence. You know what I'm talking about? Dog told me the other day, man, my homeboy, I ain't even know little bro gone. Little bro got a dub. I said, a dub? And they said, well, he been gone by 8, 9. I said, well, he halfway home. Because he got to do 17. Now they got to do 17. Well, you know, in another state, you catch 20, man, you might be home in 7. You know what I'm talking about? This young nigga got to do 17 before he even think about it. You only got 3 years left on your sentence. That's why niggas, and you hear niggas go on the road, they be like, well, I maxed out. They feel like might as well I done did the whole thing anyway.
But that's why I'm going to ask. You can't charge them in, and they ain't going to see him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you get a fresh charge. They going to take you, and the county that you called it in, book you, go to court, all that. Get more time.
But why niggas feel like that? If you catch somebody on the inside, you still get more time.
Now, if you catch a body on the inside, you finna get a whole nother murder charge.
Right.
And a whole new sentence. And you probably ain't never getting out. Now, I want to tell you, man, no matter what the state is, boy, you can turn a 5-year bid into a life sentence real quick.
Right, that's all I was saying. So it really ain't no such thing as that you already got it.
No, in Florida, you pretty much maxed out. Like I say, right? Like,
I said it ain't like you can't do that to get more time.
No, you can, but what I'm saying is, maxing out is completing your whole sentence. So, like, he got a 20-year sentence, but he got to do 17 before he can even think about getting out. You pretty much did the whole sentence.
So he said, I might as well do 3 more.
Yeah, you got some niggas just wild out and say, I'll lose all my game time and just do the whole dub. You know what I'm saying? Nah, yeah, but see, you talking about something different. Like, when I was up there, but no, you catching. That's not how you max out. You max out because you get 10 days a month off your sentence.
Right, you max out by getting like
DRs.
Yeah.
Getting rid of. Like, man, screw them crackers. Like, cause I had 60 months, so I had in my mind I'm finna do the whole 60 because I got to do 51 to get out. What's 9 months? You know what I'm saying? Because they like to put you out on conditional release for the game time. So then you get out, and then they put you on paper for the 9 months off your sentence. You know what I'm saying? Then you violate. Bro, I done been up the road where they sent a dude back to do 14 days, man. Because that's how much time he had left on conditional release. Sent him back. And then how they do you dirty. Because even though it's the same charge, same penal commitment, they give you another letter on your ID. So it's like you caught another felony, and then they kind of use that to bam you and HO you. You know what I'm saying? Well, they play dirty games. You understand?
They were rebooking that county.
Yes. To do 2 weeks. I've seen it. I went up the road with somebody who went up there to do 14 days. A dude I grew up with, they sent him back to do 90 days. They making money. Because, see, we were talking about this earlier. I'm gonna move on, but I want to make sure y'all had this information. Don't even count because you got to go up that road.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I want to ask y'all a question. And this is what I don't understand why all these woke niggas, because all these woke niggas supposed to know this. Why y'all think that white woman only got 10 years? If you thinking in the aspect of the reality of the system that you are in. Not even because she was cop. Cop ain't even got nothing to do with it. Huh? It's not even that it was made for you. What is the economic system that this system operates on? No, I mean, to an extent, it's the Uniform Commercial Code, maritime law. Every charge in the United States is commercial. It's monetary. What I've been telling you for the longest, who is the least threat on the planet? Women. You know what I'm saying? And especially white women. So it's not financially advantageous for them to have her in prison for an extended amount of time. One, they can't make money off her labor. Two, they can't make money off exchanging her on the stock exchange. See, when you get locked up, they trade your charging papers on the stock exchange. She's not valuable. There's no money to be made off of her for her being in there for an extended amount of time. But yeah, everybody's changed on the stock exchange.
I know when you born, you said
everybody, because remember, it's commercial. Charging instruments in court are financial instruments because they trade your charging papers on the stock exchange. If you're an inmate, a prison is considered to be a commercial warehouse by law. See, y'all don't know about maritime law and Uniform Commercial Code and all that. But when you're incarcerated, a prison is literally considered by law a commercial warehouse housing commercial goods. So then they take those commercial goods and they trade them on the New York Stock Exchange and other world trade exchanges throughout the world. So that's why you have your DC number or whatever the case may be that they have, because they are day trading it. You know what I'm saying? So that woman being in prison does not benefit them because nobody wants that asset. You are more valuable to them. See, now, you know where she really had her money at? When she was a police officer. Because, see, they have insurance policies on every police officer and every military personnel in the world. And that's why they don't care about them getting killed in wars or on the street, because those people are worth more money to them dead than alive. Because every time an officer or a soldier gets killed, they cash in on the policy. They already exchanging them on the stock exchange when you're involved in their organization. See, that white woman is not valuable to them as a prisoner. She was more valuable to them as a cop. Once she made that bad move, we ain't got no use for you, ho. We can't do nothing with you. You know what I'm talking about? So when dudes be saying why the black man get 45 years, because you're more valuable on the stock exchange than this white man or this white woman. Because you're more liable to work longer and generate more income in this arena than she is. We can't put this whole to work. What's she gonna do? You know what they still do in Louisiana? They still have officers riding on horses with shotguns while them niggas working in the field. But see, we don't know that. You know, that's the prison industrial complex. They don't call it that for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But that's a different thing. That's when you know. That's why when you know how the economy works, then you don't get stressed out about no money, and then you really know that who is in charge of all things. This junk phony all the way around the board. You know what I'm saying? And this was implemented by the international bankers. And y'all can look this stuff up, man. You know what I'm saying? Take you a while to find the information. But you look this stuff up. This is factual. And I learned all this stuff in prison. So imagine knowing that my charge is really, it was supposed to be a discharge. Like that indictment paper is a financial instrument. You know what I'm saying? You're only supposed to be in jail for crimes against another person. Like what she did, she's supposed to be in jail for that. There has to be a victim to actually commit a crime. It actually says in the Federal Code of Regulations that all crimes are commercial. You know what I'm saying? So it's a financial thing. Everyone is considered to be a debt slave according to the financial system that is set in place. And they trade you on the stock exchange against what they feel like you will earn in your lifetime. That's why they be tripping about you not filing your taxes. That's exactly.
They feel like you're making money
that they ain't getting, that they can be able to make money on the stock exchange with. It's just day trading. Can't get an accurate bet, and that's a problem. That's how it works. No, this is worldwide. Uniform Commercial Code is worldwide. No, that's worldwide. That's worldwide. That's why it's called the Uniform Commercial Code. This is worldwide. The whole world is governed by this. Not just America. America's not special. America was just one of the last countries to come to the party. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, though, right? Verse 6. There's a little information, man. Y'all look that stuff up. Trina, you got to let me know what you mentioned Moses, because I didn't look up and catch that when I did that. So forgive me for that. It says, now these things were our examples to the intent that we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. Neither be you idolaters as were some of them, as it was written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication as some of them committed and fell in one day 320,000. Neither let us tempt the Mashal as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happen unto them for an examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world come. Wherefore let him that think he stand take heed lest he fall. So the number one thing he's trying to tell you is you better pay attention to the things that happen to these men lest you fall. He said there is no temptation taking you but such is common to man. But Elohim is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but with the temptation also make an escape. Cool. That you may be able to bear it. Now, how many of y'all have faced the temptation and you knew that there was an exit and you took the exit? Huh? You took the exit. How many of you faced the temptation and you seen the exit and you decided to stay in the house? But I'm just mentioning that so you know that anytime you face the temptation, Yah made a way out. And you know why he made a way out? Because he want to see where your heart lays. Oh, that didn't end well for him. Come over here back to Proverbs 12. Well, sometimes that's what's needed. You're dealing with a boy. That's all they respect. All that gentle baby play, they don't respect none of that. They don't respect none of that. Can't do no little boy like that. No, he deserved every bit of that what he got yesterday. He earned that. Like we said, he gave him much long suffering and patience and a couple corrections. And he chose to be rebellious. Now, seriously though, especially when they get older and they nuts start to dropping, you got to have their daddy there because he gonna test Mom Duke because he ain't gonna respect nothing what Mom Duke talking about.
Right, that's what I said. He just sitting there.
You got to have the daddy there. That's what he there for, to regulate that boy. That boy got to be, no, ain't nobody playing with you. You know what I'm saying? See, you gonna get, that's my baby. And then you complain about him driving you crazy. Send him around there to his daddy so he can drop kicking in his mouth. Go to your father. That's the first thing she said. Go to your father's house. I'm not dealing with this. Go to your father's house. Go to your father's house. Right now, she already, and she called him when he was on his way. Your son on the way over there. What he over there for? He rounded up putting ice in his rectum. He did what? I got it on tape. I'm finna send it to you.
That's how you know. Because on the tape, that's the first thing.
Go, go over there, because your daddy know what's coming. I've been telling him. I fill up my ice trays. They come up empty. I know I ain't put no. I just made that tea. I ain't put no ice in it. I think that boy around there doing stuff with that ice hack. Already want some sim. And because guess what? Because guess what mama gonna do? Think about the baby. That's my baby. No. So there, it was that serious. But you woke up like, come on now, what? Give him 5 more. Because you wasn't watching the bucket. Yeah, we knew what was going on. That's why we told you. He earned it. He definitely got a good 45 minutes of strong long suffering. That's why we said that to Sai. Sai endured. Sai said, you know what? I'm going to sit up right here. My friend's coming, but I'm not going to fall for the temptation. And she kept telling Mari, come back over here, Mari. Come back over here, Mari. I said, well, I said, look at you, Sai. You're doing well. You're enduring. She said, I'm not getting off of here. I was going to whoop me. She tried to tell Mari. Mari didn't want to listen. Y'all need to leave that phone. Oh, y'all thought you were still playing with that phone that Lizzie had in her hand. But she's dropped it. So where we was at? I think I finished. Oh, let me finish Luke 8. All jokes aside, man, I just thought I'd be done beat up. A little boy, you gotta get a little boy under. You gotta work with him. He gotta get some understanding. And Pop's the one who gonna give him that understanding. 8 and 14. I say they don't necessarily just be the whooping. It's the bass and the force that's in the man's voice that just don't hit the same as Mom Dude's voice here. Cause you go to yell and he like, ain't no bass in her voice. She don't mean that. That's unless you've been coming off the top rope from day one. See, Mike believe Lee. Cause she's been coming off the top rope from day one. From day one. Mike, no. Little Mike, no. Mama ain't playing. I'm talking about day one. Mike was a good 4-5 months. Ah! Michael! He ain't stand a chance. Bubba ain't never had to move. Lee been on it. Mike just sitting there. Bah! She been coming off the top rope day one. Yeah, I hear you. Lee like this here. Lisa, I ain't having it. I'm whoop this nigga. Mordecai like this here. Mordecai has no idea what's in store for him. Malik neither. He think it's all good. I've been hanging on this boob. She like this, yeah, nigga. Wait till you want. She done got salt. Mordecai don't buck. Mordecai just a crybaby. He's not a bucker. Mike is a bucker. Mike is a bucker. Let him buck one time. One day you're going to see Mordecai fly across the room. That's when you know it's going to begin. Yeah, y'all got some cheering need to be whooped. Just send him to Lee. Lee going to whoop. Boy, Mari going to be like this here. Ma'am, this is not allowable under law. He said, you have not raised me in this fashion. Now you sent me to this father. Luke 8 and 14. And they which fell among the thorns are they when they have heard the word go forth and are choked with the cares, riches, and pleasures of this life and bring no fruit to perfection. But that on the good ground are they which, and listen what he said, in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, keep it and bring forth fruit with patience. Remember, we dealt with Wednesday, what? The fruit of the righteous is as a tree of life, and the root of the righteous yield fruit. So in order to bring forth that fruit with patience, you have to have an honest and good heart. So if you look at an honest and good heart, what did he tell you in Matthew 5? Blessed are the pure, for they'll see Elohim. See, a lot of people don't have a pure heart. You know what I'm saying? He said an honest and good heart. So you know what the word is for good. Who could give me the characters for good? Y'all should know that. That's an easy word. So when you look at that, what it is, right? The Son has secured a covenant. That's what make it good. because the covenant of Yahuwah was good. We the ones who broke it. Wasn't nothing wrong with the covenant. Covenant was grade A. But let's come back to Proverbs 12 and 11. It's already 10:11. I forgot we started at 9. I know it get dark by 7:45. When time go back? Proverbs 12 and 11. He said, he that till his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that love vain persons is void of understanding. Now let's look at this word for till. It's a word you're familiar with, and it's abad. Do y'all remember what the word abad means? Huh? Well, what come to mind to you in your memory? And that's ayin, bat, and dalit. Abad. Nah, not confirmed. Remember, this is the word for till. Work. So he that works his ground. You know what the word for ground is, right? Huh? Not on this one. It's another word for ground. It's a word that you can use to prove that the virgin birth is in Genesis. The word for ground or land here, I should say, is Adamah. Now we'll deal with that in a moment. So till, ayin, bat, and dalit. What you get for this? Because this is your labor. And notice what it mentioned, right? If you sow in seed, then what has to be done? It has to be, because notice that he said that it was work that each one of these things had to do with the seed falling in the ground. So you got ayin, bat, and dalit. Well, all right, little muffin boy, just knock on over then. At least you know you love your mommy. You all right over there, cuz? You got yourself together? You feeling okay? Sai and Lizzie, what y'all doing? Well, you trying to read, but you can't read and pay attention. But you also need to pay attention. Yes, you definitely need to pay attention. That's unfortunate for you. Yeah, that doesn't hurt me because you're not paying attention. So that only hurts yourself. Ayin, bat, and dalit. What y'all got for that?
To experience the son that got home.
Experience the son that got hung. Anybody else? Ayin, bat, and dalit. Well, there's got pretty much what you're gonna get. They experience the son's sacrifice, and that would be the work that you would need to do to till that land. Now we're looking at Adamah. I want to go ahead and get both the words out the way off the top. Ayin, bat, and dalit. Now with this Adamah, you got Aleph, you got Dalit, you got Meme, and you got Hey. You have Aleph, you have Dalit, you have Meme, and you have Hey. This means ground or land. So you need to till the land. He said, he whoever tills the land will be satisfied with bread. So now we also have to look at what the bread is and how he'll be satisfied, because that means that this person to be satisfied with bread, he had to do the work in the ground. And what have we already established with the parable of the sower? That the ground is what? Is representative of your heart. What is it? Ayin, Dalit, Meme, and Hey. Ayin, Dalit, Meme, and Hey. Ayin, Meme, Dalit. Ayin, Dalit, Meme, and Hey. Adamah. So with that, I mean to say I meant to say olive. My bad. It's olive. It's olive, dalet, meme, and hay. Olive, dalet, meme, and hay. So for olive, what would you say? You would say father of the head. For dalet, what would you use? You do. So when you look at that, you'll see that the man would raise arms. We're going to scrap that and just say Yahusha's blood or Yahusha's ruach, whichever one you want to use, either or they could be interchangeable, is the door to the head or the leader. This is your entrance way. And what makes this entrance way? Because of what? The ayin, bat, and dalet with the till. Because of what? The son's the son's sacrifice. So this is the work that you're willing to do for that ground. Now let's take a look back at son from the beginning. I want to go back in the beginning because you have to do this work to be able to be filled with bread. So what's the word I want to use here? John chapter 11. And these things are going back to the fruit that we looked at the last 2 days. That ain't what I want. Hold on, that's not what I want. That is not the verse that I want. That wouldn't have happened to you, little muffin boy, if you'd have been sitting down. John 9 is what I want. 9 and 1. John 9 and 1. And Yahusha passed by, and he saw a man which was blind from birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Yahusha answered, neither have this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of Elohim should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me. While it is day, the night come when no man can work. As long as I'm in the world, I'm the light of the world. Now, notice, right? Remember, till is your work. Now, what is the work of Elohim? We just talked about this recently. Y'all should know the answer for that. That's an easy question. Huh? What's the work of Elohim? To believe on his son. That's the work. Remember, right? Because the fruit is what? The parade. Or Yahusha is the word of Elohim. So let's take a look at something in Psalm 78. And remember, we're dealing with this at the fourth of the tilling the land is to develop a heart of faith. Because remember, he say the seed that fall in the good ground, they heard the word and kept it with patience. You know what I'm saying? You can only keep something with patience that you actually believe that you're going to get something out of it. See, a lot of things stumble and grow stagnant because you don't have belief that there's actually something that's going to come out of it. We use a simple example. You know why a lot of people stop working out? Because they don't get the results that they want to see immediately. So therefore they quit. Then at the same time, a lot of people start working out for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? And therefore you won't stick to it. Now, of course, it's everybody's favorite thing is, of course, there's nothing wrong with it. They want to look good naked. But if that's your only reason, I mean, the average person who work out, that's what they're trying to work out. They niggas say, I want to be healthy, but, that's really not number one. Most people want to look good naked. You know what I'm saying? I started lifting because the nigga told me, hey, man, come with me, and I enjoyed it. So you say, you know what? I'm going to just keep going. I have, but I'm talking about when no, I'm talking about afterwards. No, afterwards. But I'm talking.
I remember you said a nigga said you got.
No, when I first started. Like when I first started, that wasn't even a thought. I mean, that developed after time when you keep going. No. My cousin told me that, but I wasn't even working out then. Ain't even thought about it. I didn't start working out till maybe 2.5 years later. My cousin Mike told me that. They say, boy, you need to get the chest of a grown man. No. I mean, but when I started working out at Tallahassee Road Prison, and we did that superset of pull-ups and push-ups, that wasn't on my mind. I was like, because that nigga kept telling me, work out with me, bro. Work out with me. I'm like, man, I ain't on that. And I finally did it. And I said, you know what? It's all right. I got more so to the lifestyle. Like, okay, I went to studying how to eat. The nigga who slept next to me was already on that. I immersed myself into the whole thing to where, you know what? I'm just going to live this way. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. If I'm a workout, then I'm going all the way in with it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sense of playing with it. Like looking good hadn't even came into the effect yet. It was just more so, I'm on this now, so I need to be on it. I mean, the muscles started popping pretty. The muscles popped pretty quick.
What muscle did you say? Yeah.
All muscles.
What muscle you talking about?
Shoot, my whole body.
I don't see no rock over there.
Shoot. Well, that's clearly you blind. Ooh. Ooh. I got a picture of my phone right now. When I was $160, we 234 pounds now. So let that speak for itself. Don't mad at me because you've been doing push-ups for 3 years and you still got an 8th grader chest. He clearly is. He barely doing that. He's struggling. You see what I'm saying?
He said,
he might do. He might do. You know what I'm saying? But for me, like starting off, like it was more so the challenge of I didn't think I could do 10 sets of pull-ups. Never doing pull-ups in my life. And I did it. You know what I'm saying? And did all 10. So then it was more so what else can I do to challenge myself with this stuff here, man? And we had no weights, so you had to be creative. So they took the weights out.
I got this on that after this thing.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
But you know.
Doesn't that feel so good?
The what?
After this thing.
Yeah, that didn't do nothing for me. I couldn't even lift I couldn't even lift. I don't even get sore anymore now, so I couldn't even lift my arms over my head, man. Not really. I'm talking about only time things get sore, my legs. And that's depending on what I do, but I don't really get like really being sore. I ain't felt like that in years. What happens is my muscles are locked up. It depends how much volume I did, but I don't like when my back locks up because it sucks. My chest is locked up a couple times. My arms locking up is bad because my fingers get messed up. Yeah. So let's look what I would have mentioned. Psalm 78 and 5. Abigail, stop, Renee. Sit still. Pay attention. Psalm 78 and 5. We'll make it 78 and 4. He said, we will not hide from them. We will not hide them from their children. We'll make it verse 3. He said, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of Yahuwah, his strength, his wonderful works that he have done. He established a testimony in Jacob, appointed a Torah in Yasharal, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in Elohim and forget not the works of Elohim, but keep his commandments. Notice it said the works. So what are the works of Elohim Old Testament wise? That should be easy to answer. Huh? But I'm talking about, but it said that we might not forget the works of Elohim. So Old Testament wise, what are the works of Elohim that he told you ought to declare to your children?
Works that he did in Egypt.
One of the wonders that he did in Egypt. What did he do in Egypt? He slayed the firstborn. Let's take a look at Hebrews 11. Now, again, this is how you have to do the work of Elohim, which is to believe him by tilling your ground. When you do this, you have entryway to the Father by this man's sacrifice. It means you have to do the work. And the work is to believe. And the belief that Yahushua had is that he offered himself, which made his fruit as the tree of life. And because the root of the righteous, it yields fruit, because his root was rooted in his belief in his Father that he would resurrect him from the dead if he offered himself. And again, fruit is pareh, pei, rosh, yad. Yahusha is the word of Elohim. You cannot manifest any fruit without the word of Elohim. It is impossible. And in order for you to manifest that fruit, you have to believe it. And this is why he say this is the pair, because the person who sowed the seed may not necessarily be always the person who tills the seed. But now he's telling you in this instance, Yahusha is the sower of the seed. The seed is the word of Elohim. And once that seed is sowed in your heart, then it's your job to do the work. Because faith come by hearing and hearing come by the word. So if you don't believe the word, then you're not going to be able to till the ground, and therefore you will not be satisfied with bread in the end. I forgot where I was going. What else I was going at? What else?
Hebrews 11.
Yeah, Hebrews 11. Muffin, you ain't no help. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 23. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child and not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Elohim than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of a Mashal greater riches than the treasures in Mizraim, for he had respect unto the recompense of reward. By faith he forsake Mizraim, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians, the saying to do, were drowned. So that's the work. When he called it that Red Sea, that's the works of Elohim. And what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to tell that to your children. That Passover, you're supposed to tell that to your children. What are other works that he did that were mine? Because you notice if you read in the law, they say, we heard about these. Our fathers told us about all these wonderful works. And they say, where these works at now? There's a part of that where they ask where it's at now. That's how a lot of our people feel right now. Y'all keep telling us about he did this and he did that. Where he at? That's why it's hard for some people to believe, because they're looking for something. But what did he tell you those miracles were for? It is for the unbeliever. That's why he don't do them. But he said prophecy was for who? So that's why that word go for. The miracles wasn't for us. You know what I'm saying? What he did to Egypt wasn't for us. That was for them to know that I'm Yahuwah. You know, now, according to Torah, why is that so? Because there's an instance, if you recall, why is that so? That the miracles was for Egypt and not for us. I'll tell you, it's in Exodus chapter 4, too. Yeah, it's in Exodus chapter 4.
About when he was destroying Jacob.
I just thought so they knew that he was real.
Now the Egyptians didn't, because you know what? But the reason Exodus chapter 4, right? He told Moses, what did Moses say to him in Exodus chapter 4 when y'all told him, I'm finna use you for something? And then he said he was something else he lacked. Say he couldn't speak. So he said, so you know what? He said, didn't I give the eye to the man to see? Didn't I give man mouth to talk? So what did he do for Moses after that? He didn't even increase his speech. He gave him Aaron to him. And then what did him and Aaron? And then what did him and Aaron do after that? Yeah, Yahuwah showed Moses what the play was. Moses showed it to Aaron, and then Aaron went and showed it to who? The people. So, and the people all bowed down and worship. So they got the play before it even started. So the miracles wasn't for them.
But him, that's why I was asking. He did that miracle for a quarter.
No, he did, but that was for Pharaoh. That wasn't for the people. That staff and all that stuff, and his hand coming out, leprous and all that, that was for Pharaoh.
Oh, I thought he did that.
No, that was for Pharaoh. That was for Pharaoh. He didn't. Moses didn't work a single solitary miracle in the face of the children of Yasharal when they were in Egypt. Not one. Not one. You know what I'm saying? All he gave them was word. When he turned the water into blood, that was for Pharaoh. When the lights went out in Egypt, they was dark, we was light, but that was for Pharaoh. Do you know what I'm saying? What was the locusts, the frogs, all that was for Pharaoh. But for us though, all we got was word. Let's look at that in Exodus 4, what I mentioned. And I'm mentioning this here because that's an example of doing the work or tilling the ground. Because all they had to do was the work, which was to believe in Elohim and follow through on that promise. Exodus chapter 4, right? Where I want to pick it up at. Well, first off, we'll start in verse 13, verse 11, what I mentioned. Well, verse 10. Well, first, let me show you this one here, where to start off at. Verse 1. Say, Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For you, they will say, Yahuwah have not appeared unto you. You will said unto him, what is in your hand? He said, a rod. He said, cast it to the ground. He cast it to the ground and became a serpent. Moses fled from before it. You will said unto Moses, put forth your hand and take it by the tail. He put forth his hand and caught it and became a rod in his hand. That they may believe that Yahuwah Elohim of their fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, Elohim of Isaac, Elohim of Jacob have appeared unto you. Yahuwah said furthermore unto him, oh. Well, let's come over here to verse 10. But he didn't do that, but Yahuwah showed him that he hadn't went to the people yet.
Right, but I was saying he did that. Moses didn't believe.
No, he said the people wouldn't believe him. It's not that Moses doubted. Moses was good. He said these people not going to believe me if I say you appeared to me. So he said, here, do this. And then Moses did the main thing that most people do who end up having to teach the word, is trying to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because most people who want to preach the word usually end up preaching the word, usually don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of dudes that really want to jump up and do it, it's because they're usually not son. Because it's not something that you necessarily want to desire to do. Not because you don't want to desire to serve Yahuwah, but because it's a major undertaking and responsibility. And then on top of what he stated, they're not even going to believe you with me. You know what I'm saying? Look how a lot of dudes be coming out with people be saying, y'all with it. You like, that nigga lying. But it'd be funny that the wicked niggas say y'all with him, everybody believe him. Ain't that something? People really believe the Most High with TD Jakes. I'm just using him as an example because he well known. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But look at a lot of brews. Same way. You know what I'm saying? But the ones who y'all really with, because look at who was really Moses. Besides being Pharaoh, living in Pharaoh's house, he had done hid it. He really wasn't nobody when he came amongst our people. He wasn't nobody to them. So they looking at him like, who is this nigga? Same way they looked at Saul. Saul, one of the prophets. Is this Joseph's son? The carpenter who we all know? Who is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? They don't want to believe it.
But who they feel like the name supposed to be? All the names they are supposed to be
Most of the time, dealing with man, people want people who are notable according to the flesh. That's why you see so many brews want so many rappers or entertainers to be on the word. They want somebody notable in the flesh because most men are men worshipers. You know what I'm saying? So they feel like, oh, see, he can get this truth out. Y'all don't need this. And that's the crazy part is that we feel like that Yah needs men of that nature to get his word out. Y'all gonna get his word out regardless. He don't need now rapper. He don't need now athlete. He don't need now entertainer to get his word out. Because at that point, you saying to say that somebody who's famous, it's gonna make y'all's word more valid. Like I'm gonna believe it more because I remember niggas say, boy, if Jesus get this truth, boy, niggas not gonna believe the word anymore, any less if young Jesus said it. Ain't nobody gonna believe the word anymore, any less if Denzel Washington said it. Ain't nobody gonna believe the word anymore or any less if LeBron James said it. Because they either gonna believe in Yah or not. Doesn't really matter. But that's how men are, because men are respecter of persons. But a poor nigga on the corner, they're not gonna believe him. Who is you, nigga? You ain't nobody gonna listen to you. You can't get this truth out. Niggas hypocrites and ought to burn in hell. Reason why I say that, because if Yahushua was on this earth right now, they wouldn't listen to him because they'll look at his stature. Because at the end of the day, Yahushua was a regular dude from the hood, according to what the book said. Because they say, can any good thing come from Nazareth? So clearly they looked at Nazareth or Galilee as a very rundown, low economic place to some extent, that nothing good could come from it. Nothing like that. It's a regular cat, regular dude. And when you look in the text, he always used regular people of quote unquote low degree. Because when David became king, David was a shepherd boy. He said, I took you from amongst the sheep to lead my people Israel. He was a shepherd boy. That's not someone of high degree. You know what I'm saying? He said he'd take a man from the dunghill and set him amongst princes. Like Moses was a man who forsook a high degree and became a man of low degree, like Yahushua did, and took him and used him. You know what I'm saying? Who was Aaron? Aaron wasn't nobody. Who was Jeremiah? When you look at Amos, Amos said, look here, man. He said, I'm not a prophet, nor am I a prophet's son. He said, I was a gatherer of sycamore fruit. What was Elijah? Elijah wasn't a man of nobility. He's never used individuals of this sort. Ever. You know what I'm saying? On a consistent basis, as he picked some people who probably had a high degree, yeah. But Nehemiah was governor in Yasharah, but he wasn't somebody of notoriety. Ezra was a priest. So these were people who had positions as forth as the construct of our government, but they weren't considered to be men of high degree. That's why Paul wrote that in Corinthians, that he takes the base things of the world, the things that are despised, to bring the mighty things and make them nothing. So you know the word, Yahuwah's not going to use people like that. You know why he's not going to use people like that? Because they're going to get all the esteem and the honor. The honor ain't going to go to Yahuwah. Because you're going to praise that man. You know what I'm saying? That's what niggas got the game twisted at. Because if we look at most brews now, all the esteem be going to the niggas who talking the word. Then this team ain't going to know Yahuwah. Niggas saying today we banging on Esau. All this stuff here is the focus on Esau, or is it on Yahuwah? Why would I be talking about a man more than Elohim? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we own. That's what everybody wants. Or if we get one of the brothers in this truth, oh, we got another. That's why they get so amped up with somebody. Boy, you know he Israel. Niggas was all amped up about Nick Cannon. This nigga just had on the turban, cuz. That's just that nigga attire. This nigga believe in chakras, you idiot nigga. But all he got to do is say some keywords and you stupid niggas jump on it. That's how we know they going to serve the beast, because they man worshipers. Beast going to come, they going to bow down and worship him. Why? Because they ain't tilling the land. That's why they ain't going to be satisfied with no bread. 4 and 10 though. Moses said unto Yahuwah, O my Lord, I'm not an eloquent, neither therefore, nor since you have spoken unto your servant, I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. Yahuwah said unto him, who have made man's mouth, or who's made dumb deaf, or seeing the blind have not I Yahuwah. Your mouth, and I will teach you what you shall say. He said, "Oh my Lord, send, I pray you, by the hand of whom you will send." The anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Moses, and he said, "Is not Aaron the Levite your brother? I know that he can speak well, and also he come forth to meet you. And when he see you, he will be glad in his heart. And you shall speak unto him and put words in his mouth, and I will be your mouth, and with his mouth, and I will teach you what you shall do. And he shall be your spokesman unto the people. And he shall be instead of a mouth, and you shall be unto him instead of Elohim, and you shall take his rod in your hand, wherewith you shall do the signs." And that's why he speak. You know, remember he said the signs. Now remember he said evil and adulterous generation seek after a sign. But Yasharal wasn't seeking after no sign. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't know nothing. The sign was to give them, to show you this is your Elohim. And notice that he gave them words with it. Because what did Yahushua do with his signs? He did 4 signs and he gave 4 word with it. See, for the most part.
That's why I was thinking like people still had to see some sort of miracle to know that it was God.
Yeah, see, he showed them signs.
Yeah, but they didn't have no real belief in him.
I mean, they didn't know him at all.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So that's why, but the key thing is he gave them sign and word. The word was to back up the signs. You know,
I'm thinking like the nations don't know him at all either outside of the miracle. Like he's saying, they want to start speaking on how you would did this, you would did that. To the miracle.
yeah, when they seen the sign, because it's for those who don't believe.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, because it's for those who don't believe. You know what I'm saying? And of course, with it, because that's what got Rahab on board. I heard about y'all. I heard what he did. That's why he don't do no sign, because he know none of you niggas believe. So you're gonna get this word. You're gonna get this word. You don't get no signs, nigga. Because you know, many brothers done ask why they don't do signs no more. One, I have to tell a brother, I can't answer that question. No, that's something else. Somebody resurrected from the dead. That's when dude said, "Let me go to my brother's house." He said, "Well, they got Moses and the prophets. Let him hear them." He said, "If they ain't persuaded by that, they ain't gonna be persuaded by somebody resurrected from the dead." But
I was saying that because that's
oh no, I mean, resurrected from the dead is way more than a sign.
that's what I'm saying. Like somebody was doing that.
They still ain't gonna believe.
But now they just don't have to do the sign because it's already about to already happen.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't believe it happened. I just seen a few people like, y'all still believe in fairy tales? Like, people believe the scriptures is a fairy tale.
No, but it's already spoken about. That's the part like with Rahab. Even though she wasn't there, she didn't have to believe that really happened. But she heard that. That's enough. She didn't literally see nobody.
She definitely did not.
Right. That's why I'm using that.
She did not see the Red Sea get split.
Right. Like we hear about it. It's up to us to believe it.
Yeah, she didn't see none of it.
Right.
Not faith to faith. She didn't see none of it. She just heard. Right. That's why I say faith come by hearing, hearing come by the word. Rahab is an example of that.
Right. So you don't have to have no miracle. You heard about the miracle.
But a lot of people believe the script is a fairy tale. They like, y'all believe in fairy tales and this, that, there, and the third. But of course, you got to make it be a fairy tale.
When that beast make that idol speak, that's
people still ain't gonna believe. It is a sign, but people still ain't gonna believe.
I'm saying believe in the beast.
They ain't necessarily gonna believe. They gonna be like, them niggas gonna be scared. That and the fact of they don't believe in nothing. So since the word which was sown in their heart, they didn't understand, and Satan snatched it away, they don't believe in it anyway.
I get what you're saying, but if you don't believe in that, when the beast come doing that, you don't believe in that.
Yeah, because you can see it, because you saw it. Yeah, that one you just gonna be. See, people don't believe in Yahuwah because you can't see him. Because he said you the Elohim to hide yourself. You know what I'm saying? They see that. So they gonna be like, this is a supernatural experience, and they gonna, but the thing is, he gonna be mentioning script. So then that's where the persuasion, well, maybe that book was real the whole time. Yeah.
That's what they're gonna be saying. It's real Christ.
Like he said,
because he gonna be trying to prove out the book.
He him. That's what he gonna be
so
doing.
If you didn't believe the book before,
you will then.
You gonna believe it, but you just gonna believe it in the wrong way.
It's definitely gonna be a lot of weeping and gnashing. Oh, that's beautiful. You will work that smooth.
Look how it is. Niggas talking down on the book the whole time. Y'all said you a nigga doing a fake miracle, and now you believe, but you believe.
You still believe. Because that same word that you said wasn't real still gonna be the word that condemn you at the last.
Yeah, what you said about TDJ, that when the beast come, that's gonna be it.
But see, TDJ said, you remember the Christian ain't gonna be, it's gonna be these brews.
Yeah, he gonna deal with his house first, but
No, I'm talking about a lot of these brews. I'm telling y'all this right now. I've been telling y'all this for years. Y'all think I'm playing, but I've been telling y'all this for years, have I not? Why would I tell you? They gonna be like this here, boy, that's the one, boy. That's the one. He gonna be around here talking about peace, community, come together. You know what I'm saying? All that there. See, you brews don't want to come to y'all trying to sow discord. That's what's gonna happen. Play with it. Play with it. Man, one, I'm telling you. Nah, the ones in the quote unquote Old Testament only, them ain't gonna be the one be the pressure. It's gonna be them niggas say they believe the Mashiach gonna be the one putting that pressure. Cause they gonna be trying to say you ain't trying to come together under the Lord. You trying to so you don't want to be a community. He's come to set things straight.
The Old Testament believers, they gonna go hard because they waiting for someone to come.
They gonna go, but they ain't gonna go hard as these niggas who say they believe. Because they gonna see you as bucking and stopping the unity that this nigga trying to bring.
Like
so they gonna tell. They gonna persecute you. Because the niggas who don't believe ain't studying you no way. You already, this is no disrespect.
And they gonna be humbled by that.
Absolutely. They gonna play with it.
Because like I was just saying with the Old Testament believers, they believe that like they say King David is coming.
But they're not gonna go hard against somebody who's standing up saying this nigga lying. As the reason why I say that, because most of the people who push unity and community are believers in Mashiach so-called.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like they gonna hop on board with them niggas.
I mean, they all gonna hop on, but the ones who gonna persecute you the hardest are the ones who actually think that that man is the Lord and you bucking.
But the Old Testament niggas gonna believe the Lord too.
But it's not the same. It's not the same.
Y'all just getting on board.
They've been on board. Them niggas been on board.
The Old Testament niggas gonna be humble because they already.
They've been waiting on that.
Yeah.
They never considered the pushing the Yahusha as accurate. The niggas, you got to remember, this man is coming speaking dark sentences. He coming trying to bring peace. So he's going to try to unify those of Yasharal, and that's all these niggas be begging for.
They are just looking at how the niggas.
That's what we want when we came. That's why
That's
like, you come to the storm again. That's all they waiting.
Yeah, I'm just
waiting
waiting
to deliver us from Esau.
I'm just looking at how these niggas be saying who should fate.
That's irrelevant. See,
But look, this is my opinion, my perspective.
you telling don't pay attention to
My
that.
perspective is
And need to see this.
Say y'all was waiting on that Yahusha. That's screw that nigga. This is the nigga who we were waiting.
That they ain't gonna put no pressure down, because they ain't pushing unity like that. The individuals you see pushing unity are believers in Mashiach. So this man is gonna come pushing unity, and you saying this nigga's a fraud. They gonna have more problem with you than the Old Testament nigga, because he's bringing us together and you going against it.
I'm just looking at how they waiting for their savior.
But it ain't about waiting for a savior.
But
it's not them niggas is irrelevant, because them niggas are in the minority compared to niggas who say they believe in Mashiach. They in the minority. So you look at a man, remember, these niggas don't know no gospel, and they think they do. And they're going to see a man working miracles, spitting word, but the key point where he going to get him is he going to be screaming peace, and he going to be screaming unity. And when them niggas hear that unity, they going to start persecuting him. I'm trying to tell you, because that's where them niggas going to get you at. That's just crystal clear. Because if you ain't on that unity, what them niggas say? Doctrine aside, we need to come together. That's all they scream. So when he come with that, these stupid niggas is gonna go for it. And then when you be like, hey, boy, that nigga's not the Lord, boy, that nigga fake and fraud. Woo, woo, woo. See, that brother there against the unity, brother. That brother trying to cause division amongst Israel. And they gonna get you killed.
Them niggas already been thinking. That's why they be wanting to put doctrine. That's why it's so easy to rock with each other. The nigga who really ain't know that gonna be the one that say something. That's how you know they're gonna try to crash in the head.
Because remember, Yahushua told you in John 16 by way of his apostles that they gonna kill you and thinking they doing Elohim service. You know what I'm saying? He said they gonna say that they are Yahudim and are not. Remember with the synagogue in Philadelphia, these were all righteous people. He said these men gonna say they Yahudim. Ain't no Old Testament nigga saying they Yahudim. I mean, ain't no Israelite saying they Yahudim, but you get the point. They gonna say, they gonna say,
Assemblies of the Mashal, he talking to in Revelation.
and he said these people gonna come for you.
He said they say they Jews and are not. But synagogues.
They gonna come for you because they gonna be adversarial. They gonna come for you. They gonna come for you. They gonna come for you because you saying that this man is preaching another gospel. And the reason why you can do that is because you've been tilling the Adamah. You've been doing the Abad and Adamah. So you've been doing the work with the word. That word has been producing the fruit. So the long suffering, the patience, the joy, the shalom, the faith, the gentleness, the goodness, all this is manifested. So therefore you show forth the pere or that Yahusha is the word of Elohim, and you telling them that this nigga who they worshiping is not the word. But they gonna be stuck on he's speaking word and he bring, because at the end of the day, all these niggas want to do is come together and be wicked. They don't really want to come together in righteousness, meaning that Yahusha is the head and that their faith has to be totally given over to Allah. He didn't want to do that. That's why I tell you, if you notice, brews don't like to argue faith. They like to ridicule and mock you because you can't debate that. You either believe or you don't. That's why they don't like to have that conversation. So when you get in that particular time, and like this man bringing fire down from heaven, he done resurrected from the dead, this, that, there, and the third. They like this here. He bringing us together, up.
The niggas don't want to be left out.
No, don't want to be left out. And then you standing out here like, oh, that nigga lying, B. That nigga wicked, bro. That nigga ain't rolled for no dead nigga. Look at this wicked nigga over here, man. That nigga like, boy. See, it's like he talking against the king,
Yeah, and they don't like to talk about the real matters of the law. They like to talk about
yeah, and then the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. See, we're talking about this earlier, right? All these niggas mad about this white woman getting 10 years. At the end of the day, all she got is extended was mercy. Whether you agree with it or not, what you always hear Christians say, bruise don't extend, love and mercy. These niggas have no mercy whatsoever. And the book say that he showed himself merciful to the merciful, and that mercy rejoice against judgment. But all bruise want to do is execute judgment and show no mercy. There's instances where you've seen where people be like, well, this nigga did this to you, and it doesn't matter because I can be merciful to this person. It's not a problem. You know why? Because one, that's what the book teach, and two, that throw niggas off. Because when a nigga do some slime ball stuff, they're not expecting mercy in return. They're not expecting you to be kind and compassionate. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what sets Yahuwah apart from all things that are called God, because he's merciful. Look at, like I said, every group point out, oh, we ought to kill this nigga. But he said if he marked iniquity, who would stand? Not now. So if you know that if he would mark iniquity, no one would stand. He said that's why there's forgiveness with him, that he might be feared. So you ought to extend it as well, because if he marked every sin, nobody gonna stand. But all we focus on is what sins niggas is doing, because you doing it too. So you want to feel better about it. Because most of these brews, they wicked as hell. And when I say hell, I mean is death, the grave, Sheol. Because death is wicked. That was never Yah's intent. You know what I'm saying? And most brews, they wicked as death. Because death is a horrible thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a horrible thing. It's not anything that anyone should want to desire to partake in. That's why you got to have the fruits of life, because it shows that Yahushua is the word, which means the Ruach is in you, which goes, that's why I've been telling y'all for years, really since I started. It ain't about how much words you know, it's how much words you lay up in your heart. It's not how much words you read, it's consuming the role and becoming the role. You know what I'm saying? And the word flowing out of you, and the word directing you and correcting you without you having to open it and read it. You know what I'm saying? The word should come out like, now, of course, ain't none of y'all. If you got to sit back and say, hold on, brother, let me show you this out the text, you ain't fit to talk about the word. Because nobody in the book ever had a scroll in their hand and said, let me tell you about what it say. The only time they did that was in the temple or in the synagogue. If you was out in the street, that word had to be in you to drop it. Prophets had the word in them. You know what I'm saying?
When who that was, Josiah, sent them men out to teach in the cities of Yehuda, you think they would walk around with scrolls? Can't walk around with that. You think Yahushua was walking around with a scroll? Think about his apostles. You think he gave them, here, take the scroll with you. Take the scroll with you. Now he hit him off with that word. Because what did he tell you in the book of Proverbs in the 4th chapter? My son, lay up my doctrine in your heart. You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to carry that with you. But see, you know what our problem is? We want the word just to tell it to somebody. Chop people head. What you always see, boy, I had the sword out. I would cut them niggas. I would cut them niggas. That's all you buy. As I told you the other day. I told Brandon that the other day. I said, bro, I said, you know why I stopped telling you about the gospel? Because you was using it to argue with niggas' fault. That's not what it's for. That's not what it's for. I don't get that info. I wasn't sharing that information with niggas for the purpose of, well, I'm gonna show these niggas this new stuff. Hey man, share with them the words of life, not the flex. That's not what this is for. You know what I'm saying? When I had to talk to your homeboy, you know, Super Punk. You remember Super Punk? You know your niggas, man. Super Punk. You know the Super Punk. You know, look at his name. And he said he like to get mushed. You know what I'm talking about? But for real though, because the nigga was sharing it with something, and then he got thrown when I talked to him, because bro, I'm not here for that. But I can defend what I'm talking about. But I'm not here for that. Because in fact, when I was on the phone with him, I told him, I said, brother, don't you love the word? Yeah, I love the word. Well, you ought to rejoice in this word you're getting right now. You seem to be offended. And he got mad. You know what I'm talking about? All that word for nothing. But you know why he did all that work for nothing? You know why I say that? Because at the end of the day, you know what happened? He didn't know where to be found because he wanted boys. And he had told you that. And I'm being serious right now. I'm being serious right now. He wanted boys and whatever else temptations he had in his heart and illicit desires. That's why he went that way, because he ain't overcome it. That's why he told him that. You ain't never had thought about having sex. Nigga telling you what's in his heart. Abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. Grown man tell you you ain't never thought about. Hold up. Hold up. It ain't even a telling. My man. I will be greatly offended.
Like you said, if that's what really ain't hard, he speaks on the school.
But I'm gonna say this here, right? If I was in his position, I would have been offended. In my position, I would have been like, hold on, bro. That's you a booty bandit, but we need to get you some help. Because clearly you have a problem. You sick. I can help you now. If a nigga really try, now I'm gonna be honest with you. If he was really trying to get help, he would have said, bro, I have thoughts about men from time to time. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have came at you on some old, you don't ever have thoughts about sleeping with a man. Oh, that nigga thought you was a punk.
That's why I said.
Yeah, oh yeah, nigga thought you was a punk. That nigga thought you was a punk. That real nigga talk. That word or no word, nigga thought you was a punk. Because that would be like, bro, you ever thought about smoking crack? Oh, that nigga think you a basic. Nigga don't come at you like that. They don't come at you like it's the same way if a man come at a woman with some illicit sexual activity. He thinks she a hoe. That's why he said it to her. See if she was with it. Yeah, he testing the water. Yeah. I roll in the die. Let me see what's going on. Am I gonna crap out? Am I get snake eyes, or am I say I'm a lamb? No, I mean, regardless of what it is, a nigga has to. One thing about a punk. I'll tell you now. One thing about a punk. One thing about a punk. Boy, they know another punk when they see one. I know that for being in the chain game, boy. Boy, punk know another punk. But I done heard punk say, you know what I'm saying? There was a white punk when I was on the road. You know what I'm saying? That punk, like, he said, I know you're not gay. You know, I can tell. You know, you can see that. We know the gay ones.
That's true though.
You know what I'm saying? That's what that punk said. And just how watching them niggas operate, boy, they know who a punk or who not. Like niggas be running here, man, this punk in here. That punk don't want you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That punk know who a punk. Now punk walk in a room full of men, he know who's a Peter Puff and a pillow biter. He know. He can see it in you. That nigga like boys. He like boys. He ain't even got to look extra hard. That nigga see it in your soul. He look in your eyes. That nigga. I'm gonna get that nigga tonight.
Right.
I've been living a little while, man.
Not as long as others.
A woman not you walking along like.
She know that one there for me. Because every woman in here knows she already know you don't get that coochie. He just can't, just don't mess it up. It's yours, nigga. You don't know it's yours, but it's yours.
I ain't talking about like that. I'm talking about like.
Yeah, I mean, the same. No, but I'm talking about that man. But at the same token, that's what I mean for the man eater. This coochie yours. You don't know it's yours. I'm finna put it on you. And she looking for a weak nigga because she done already said that nigga ain't nothing. That nigga fly. He ain't strong. I'm gonna get that nigga. Just what I told you earlier. They can get that nigga. I know he weak. That's why I tried him. See, masculine women, they know a weak nigga when they see one. They won't see, they'll try that moves with a man who's strong. That's why they get mad and angry with him when he don't fall for it. They know a weak nigga when they see one. I'm gonna get that nigga. That nigga a buster. He ain't no man. He a sucker. They know it, they can peep it, they can see it. Yeah, they can see it. Ain't no nigga coming at you like that. Nigga know you gay. Cause he really trying to see if you want to have sex with me. That was his next step. Am I what you like? I give you a plane ticket. We can hug each other with honey. That's what that nigga on. Let me move on, man. I'm just trying to tell you what's right. Exodus chapter 4. So a woman put him out there for like, I'm telling you. One thing.
She put him out there on okay. She put him out there on some.
He wicked.
Yeah, trying to mess with me type stuff.
But I'm just saying, because it's so that's what I'm saying. Regardless if it's some, the wickedness is there. It's there. Because he ain't tilling the ground. He want to till some ground, but he ain't tilling his ground. That's the problem. We finished at Exodus 4, man. We in verse, we got to drop down a little bit. Verse 27. Yahuwah said to Aaron, go into the wilderness and meet Moses. He went and met him in the mount of Elohim and kissed him. Moses told Aaron all the words of Yahuwah which had sent him, all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moses went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Yasharal. Aaron spake all the words which Yahuwah had spoken unto Moses and did the signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed when they heard that Yahuwah had visited the children of Yasharal, and he looked upon their affliction, and they bowed their heads and they worshiped. So he hit them off so they could believe. Pharaoh got the sign, but he ain't getting no word. Pharaoh ain't getting no word because the word is for those who believe. Why waste word on you and you don't believe? This is why Yahushua told you if they don't receive your testimony to do what? Dust your feet off. There's no need for you to waste no word on somebody who don't believe. That's idiotic. That's idiotic. Well, I want to go out with this here some more, man. Well, let's take it over here to, I don't necessarily want to use that. Let's come over here to John chapter 4. But the main key point of what, well, let me look the word for satisfy, because that's what I'm forgetting. Satisfied is the word savah, and it means to be fulfilled, to satisfy, to have one's feel, to have his desire satisfied. Shan, Ba, and Ayin. Proceed. Shan, Ba, and Ayin. Now I want you to keep in mind, if you filled with bread, what would you be filled with? With the word or his flesh. Because he said, if you drink his blood and eat his bread, eat his flesh and drink his blood, then he said, you'll live by me as I live by the Father. He said, and the flesh that he gives us for the life of the world. So when you till the ground, because guess what? Ain't no bread coming out no ground. Unless you're growing oats, but you still got to need the bread. So you know bread ain't coming out the ground. Sean Bot 9. You know what I'm saying? And be paired to that son, you get a conversion. You get to know the parent of the son. That's why you satisfy. And if you know the parent of the son is to have one's feel, then what does that mean? You receive the ruach. So when you see that to till the ground, to do the work, you know the son's sacrifice. Then you see how Yahushua is the entry to the head or to the father, and therefore you receive the ruach hakodesh. This is what the verse is telling you, which is all what ingathering is about. Because if you till the land and in gathering, then what are you satisfied with? The fruits of that harvest. You know what I'm saying? And you bring that harvest into your house. Well, if you do the work of Elohim, then you get filled with the Ruach, and you're the harvest that he brings into his storehouse. Or what Mashal said in Matthew 13, is Malachim, a come and separate the wicked from the righteous and gather the righteous in and cast the wicked off. All because you tilled your land, or the seed fell in the ground and you did the work, and therefore you were filled with the Ruach, which is to bring forth the fruit with patience, which means with faith, because you have to endure for a while to receive the promise. There's very few people in this word that got the promise quickly. Abigail. Stop playing, Abigail. Abigail. Oh, I'm finna get over it. If I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now, I'd come pop you upside the back of your head. Abigail. Do not ignore me when I'm talking to you. Look at me, Abigail. Stop being stubborn. No one likes it. You're not that cute. Don't try to cry now. That's your child. That's your child. She did. That might be because of the fact that I had to go upside her head 3-4 times the other day. Ain't nobody playing. Abigail. Abigail. Come here. Get up and come here, please. Come on here, Abigail. Ain't nobody finna hit you. Ain't nobody finna hit you. Come on. She's scared now. Come on, Abby. Come on. You ain't finna get in trouble. Come on. Come on, Abby. Abby, like, I'm not coming over here. This is a ruse. Well, that's how Abby acts. Come on, Abby. Bring her over here, Lizzie. Come over here and sit with me, Abby. Come on. Abigail, get up. Come on. Come on here, Abigail. I just want y'all to see how stubborn of a child this is. Come on, Abby. Come on. Come on. Sit right here, Abby. Where are we finna go at?
John 4.
John 4, yeah. So I know she thought he finna hit me. I ain't finna hit you, Abigail. John chapter 4, verse 34. Yahushua said unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. Say not you that there are yet 4 months and then come harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest. He that reap receive wages and gather fruit unto life eternal. So remember, the fruit unto life eternal is the word. It's the Son. But both he that sow and he that reap may rejoice together. So he that sowed, right? He said he that tilled the land bring forth bread, right? So let me make sure I read that correctly. Can you read, Abigail? Can you read that? Can you read that? Or you don't want to talk now? You just had a whole lot of fun over there like 2.5 minutes ago. You don't want to talk? You just want to sit there with the pity face? It's okay. He said, he that tilled the land shall be satisfied with bread. So you tilling the land because you work it, but who sowed the seed? Who was the sower of the seed? Yahushua was the sower of the seed. So then he gets to rejoice with him that sowed. He sowed the seed, and he gets to rejoice with them that reap, which would be his servants. And what are they reaping? The individual who tilled the land, which is you. And here it is the saying true, one sow and another reap. I sent you to reap whereupon you bestowed no labor. Other men labored and you enter into their labors. So now you enter into a land that you didn't till, that somebody else tilled. But you have to make and keep the point that the tilling in this instance is Yahushua was sacrificed. The land in this instance is that Yahushua, or your heart, by doing the work allows you to come to the Father, because no man can come to the Father except by the Son. And it's written in the prophets that they all should be taught of Elohim. Therefore, everyone that has heard of the Father, come unto me. Then you become to be satisfied, which means you get to be paired to the Son, the experience of the Son, or you get to get paired to the Ruach HaKodesh and quicken unto life eternal. Now, of course, the word is lakem for bread, and even though you satisfied with bread, you satisfied with his flesh, or you're satisfied with the covenant. And we'll end tonight's foray in John chapter 6, because we got another one to do tomorrow, two to do tomorrow to be exact. So, John chapter 6, y'all willing, we probably won't go that long tomorrow afternoon, considering that we'll be coming back Saturday evening at 7:30. So, we probably won't go that long. 6:54 or 53. Then Yahushua said unto them, truly, truly, I say unto you, except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoso eat my flesh and drink my blood have eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He that eat my flesh and drink my blood dwell in me, and I in him. And as the living Abba hath sent me, and I live by Abba, so he that eat me, even he shall live by me. This is that bread which come down from Shamahim, not as your fathers did eat manna and are dead. He that eateth this bread shall live forever. So because you do this, that bread is symbolic of the resurrection of the dead. Because if you eat that bread, what he says is going to happen? You're going to live forever. He's going to raise you up at the last day. So hallelujah for Yahushua and the word. We will stop right here. I appreciate everybody's time. Say hi, Abigail. You want to say hi? Say hello. This is Abigail, the stubborn baby. She's a cute baby, but she's a stubborn baby. Are you a cute baby? Huh? You're not a cute baby? Are you a stubborn baby? Yes, you are a stubborn baby. You're a stubborn, cute baby. So I bless everybody out in the house of y'all name of Yahushua. I appreciate everybody's time this evening. I love everybody. You know, y'all willing, we'll pick it up again tomorrow afternoon for our regular work. Of course, you know, we'll go again, y'all willing, tomorrow evening at about 7:30. You know, just weigh and consider. Let that seed bring forth fruit to patience and continue to stand forth and endure to the manifestation of righteousness and salvation, which is in Yahushua HaMashiach. And, you know, let your mind be steady on tilling that seed being sowed in your heart and tilling that land so that you can be satisfied with bread. So, you know, just weigh and consider. You who are willing, we'll pick things up on tomorrow and go from there. So,
We're at Park Street.
yeah, we're out on Park Street. Everybody in here, though. We had an activity, but it looked like you niggas sleep. I ain't know.